ranging from having talked about Postman. Postman actually helps to test different instances of requests, provided you have a particular endpoint you're referencing. Now, let's say for instance, now I want to register a user. The user, let me say someone like, let me see, Ojo Samson. Now, if I should click on send, it sends this request to this endpoint definitely. Then the next thing is I can take Ojo Samson and all that. This data is presented in a JSON format. Is a form of data representation that is having to communicate between different devices. So you can see Ojo Samson unique ID. It assigns this unique ID automatically. This is the phone number that wasn't supplied, cipher sort, and all the likes. That's just pretty much it as regards this. Now, is this same information that this information you can be able to, let me say, pull some, let me see, vital parts. Maybe I haven't talked about. Let's look at this design now. You can actually see good morning Stephanie, that's a student and all that. So this information you see here, it's always in this format. That's this JSON format. That's JavaScript object notation. You have different kinds of modes of having to present data. You have CS, that's comma separated value. You have XML, that's extensible markup language. But for the sake of this particular session, we'll be focusing on JSON, that's JavaScript object notation. Yes, so meanwhile, I'll be launching my Android Studio so that we can just get onto some other data phase on this terrain, so to say. Yes, so let's just try to get onto Figma. So you can see all this design, all this information that you can see on your screen. They are being provided most likely from a remote server, that is a server outside your device. So sometimes this information you might want to store it because of let me say the persistence. Maybe at different points in time, this guy has to show on your screen. So you might want to save it on a particular database, and database resident on your phone. A good number of times it could be SQLite. So just from the word SQL, that is SQL, that is the light version, so to say. All this information, you have them like that. So they can actually be from a remote server, and some of them, because of the persistence of you having to kind of like get this information, some of them might be stored on your SQLite, and there's some information that you might not need to really store, so to say. Now, there are sometimes whereby you just click on a particular button and it shows you something like a dialogue. You must have seen something like this before, right? Whereby you click on a button and just shows you another smaller page in front of the screen. Have you?
I can't really remember. I don't think so.
Okay, maybe
Probably
okay.
make payment or something.
Yeah, sure. So you must have seen something. So
Okay.
so it's just like a screen on another one. So it's actually called Android Dialogue. So it just prompts you to make to a kind of perform an action, and when the action is successful, it tells you okay, it's successful, or maybe it actually fails. The next thing is it will go back to the normal let me see what it is, so to say. Yeah, so it's always essential you have something like this already designed, because it helps you, it guides you through on what you really want to achieve. So having to use Figma is really very much essential. You have some other suites like this. You have Adobe XD, but it's just that Figma is really very much instrumental. And though Adobe XD can do all this as well, basically, and it can even perform some other great functionalities, so to say. Yeah, so we'll be following this. Number one thing is to obtain Google Services.json file. This Google Service.json file helps for real-time correspondence. At some point in time, you must have actually had a situation whereby maybe you made a transaction, then a notification is being sent to you, or maybe it's even a chat. Have you experienced it on your mobile device before, whereby either it might even be a mail, it might be a transaction, it might be anything, but you receive notification. Yeah, even on WhatsApp, if I should send you a message, good morning, even without opening your WhatsApp, there's a notification bar.
Yes. Yes.
So that's actually what is meant by real-time correspondence. And these real-time correspondences, you have different platforms that actually help you actualize this, but a very good one is actually Firebase. Firebase is owned by Google. So the Firebase console, this is what it looks like. This is the logo for Firebase. The Gene profile I sent to you on Saturday, this is it actually. So you have King David, King's Life, Libicon, Meritland, Mates. So like that. But for security reasons, this would always be created by Mr. Victor Adijumo. So he sent it to you at different points in time via your Slack account. So this is basically a Slack communication channel. So you might want to download it. So it's currently loading. So when you download it, there is a section of your app that you have to place this. So it's currently loading. So let's just wait for it to load. Okay, here is it now. So this is just, so you might want to download this. When you download this, you click on download. Now mind you, if you've actually downloaded before now, it will change it to Google services.json. maybe it's just put brackets 1. Let me just show you what I meant by that. Let's see if I should download now. Because I've already downloaded it before now, you're going to see the way it's going to name it. It's not going to just name it Google services. So what you might want to do is just this now. If I should open it, let me just try to, okay, this is now showing Finder. Okay, you can see 5 there, right?
Yes.
So what you might want to do is you might want to kind of like just try to rename this. You know, the last one I actually downloaded was actually 4. So what you might just want to do is just to maybe copy it. I'm having to copy it like this. Copy. Because I can't rename it here. I can just copy it maybe to my desktop. Maybe I copy it to my bin. I just paste it here. So when I paste it here, I will now have to rename it. I'll come here. So I'll try to paste it here. Let me see. Okay, paste item. So I paste it here. Now I then try to rename this Google service because it will really recognize it, and the best practice is even just to rename it so that it will replace the former one there. So I try to rename, then I have something like this. So I try to say, okay, Control C, that's Control Copy. Then I come to my Google, my Android Studio. Okay, my Android Studio, I've not opened the Elite Play framework. So this is actually the project. So I try to click on this. Then maybe it might take a couple of minutes. So there's this section of the app I meant to copy, though I should have launched this earlier before now, but but I've not launched it yet. So I think I just have to wait for it to. Okay, but we can actually proceed further any time this loads. So I'm going to show you where you're going to paste this on your what's it called now. So that means you've been able to fulfill this guy. Then you have Postman check. Postman check is such a way that, let me see, I go to my Postman. All I just need to do is just change some parameters. Now, you know, the Postman check, you know, this particular task here is being administratively undertaken. This particular task, you can see administratively undertaken. So you've gotten this maybe through your Slack. Then looking at this as well, you must have actually asked the person that is in charge of server provision, like, yeah, has it been provisioned? Now let's mind that it has been provisioned. What we just need to do is just go to Gene profile, which is the name of the what's it called now? The school we are currently white labeling for. So let me just try to check. So this is it now. The way it's being spelled, we must just follow the same convention so that everything will just be made to this Gene profile. So I just go to my Postman and I check, is it provisioned? Now when I come here, I can just say, get all registered users. Definitely your name is Faith, right?
Yes.
Let me imagine the name of your school is actually Faith. If I should type Faith, F-A-I-T-H, it will give me an error message. Let's see the error message it's going to give me. It's going to tell me, oops, you are lost or something. So based on what it's meant to actually tell me. So you see, it's telling me that I'm lost, right? That means Faith does not exist currently. So had it been Faith as in provision as an organization, it will definitely give you an information. But let's see Jim Brovell. So it has to be spelled correctly. Jim Brovell. Jim Brovell. Jim Brovell. So Jim Brovell. So let's send now. Let's see what happens. Maybe Jim Brovell has not been.
Double L.
What do you say?
Double L. 2 L's.
Okay, is it
One
one
L. I think so that I put.
Okay, let me check. Okay. Because he told me I had already provisioned it, so let me send now. So let's see. So that means he has provisioned it. You say it's not telling me that oops, you are lost again, right?
Yes.
So now let me say I want to register someone now. So before now it was telling me no registered user yet, right? Now let me go to register user. Let me say I want to register Faith Dari on Jim Brovell. Faith Dari. Now this is the phone number, the password, everything and all that. Now mind you, no matter what the password is, it won't show the password in the database because that's for security, so it must have been encrypted. So this cipher and this salt is based on some encryption protocol based on the algorithm on the server. So if I should send now, it won't show me the password, rather it will show me what it's generated as the cipher and the salt. Let me just try to send now. Sorry, Faith Dari, you know, I've not changed this guy to Jim Brovell, right?
Yes.
So it's because Faith Dari does not. I think you registered as Finn the other time. It's because Faith Dari is not actually on the server, it's registered. So let's say Jim Brovell. Jim Brovell. So I want to still register as. So I just click on send. So it will be there. Okay, so it's loading. So it has already registered Faith Dari. Sure. So by the time I go back to get all registered user, I was showing me not registered, no registered user yet. When I say send, it will give me that okay, one person has already registered, which is actually what Faith Dari. So do you get?
Yes.
So that is what is being meant by postman check. Do you get?
Yes.
Now, so the next phase is actually UI cloning. So you're going to actually follow this terrain till you get to this button. This button is actually having to publish it on Google Play Store. So we are here now, we are still going here. So when we get here, it will be live on Google Play Store, definitely. So now UI cloning, now this is the logo of Jim Brovell. Now I'll be needing there about let's say like 8 different files, though they're actually 9 in number. Now you can see so I can actually follow any of these teams. Just give me a few seconds. Let me just try to get my mouse because I'm using mouse pad. Mouse is always faster. Now let's remind that this was the logo I was being given. Now this white background compared to this might not be able to. Let me say this is what I actually need, something like this. So that means I don't need this white background. So what I might just want to do, I might want to use a plugin here, but I don't think I want to do that. So I just try to export this. I click on export and I tell it to export this particular view. So when I export, it definitely downloads to a particular folder. Let me say asset folder. So I can just name it Jim Brovell, Jim Brovell.png. I save. So after having to save, I'll just try to navigate onto my browser. Then I'm going to visit a particular website that would help me remove the background. So let me just try to put that here. Let me see. I have this. So I just try to get Jim Brovell. Okay, sorry. Remove the bridge basically. So I have something like this. Now I'll then try to, so after loading, I'll just try to open the website. So it's loaded already. So I'll just try to kind of like locate where that Jim Brovell is. I'll just try to drag it to my screen. So once I drag it to my screen, I drop it here. The next thing it removes the background automatically. You can see that there's no more background behind it, right? The white background is gone, right?
Yes.
So I then download it. So now having to download it, I can just move this guy into my Figma now. So I just try to come in. I try to stay there, I just try to bring it there. Then once it snaps, I'll just try to leave it there, then it's definitely appears. So you notice that it has removed the background, right?
Yes.
So now the next thing is this now. Now I still want to follow this particular terrain, which is actually this. So you can see that this theme here is different from this theme here. So this theme used to be something like this before now. So I changed it to be something like this other one, which is this. Now let me just try to copy it. I come here, then I try to hold my alternate key so that it will duplicate, so that it's not just as if it remove it. So you see that it's duplicated, has duplicated it already. Let me move it very close to that point. I can just drop it here. So what I just want to do next is to kind of like try to drag this label here so that it will be beside it. So having dragged that to this point, you can still see that this still remains here, that it's still very much let me see now. So let's move on to this now. Maybe these particular colors here, I want to change them to this